Good morning, Advanced English, and welcome. And now, here's your host, Ben Lague.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Early Morning with Ben Lague. We're here today talking about futility, and more importantly, how studying literature is beneficial because authors use the theme of futility to teach their important and valuable lessons. Gaining the ability to recognize symbols and motifs of futility helps us to make connections into our own life, to see futility in our own experiences, and more importantly, to put reason into our actions. Right here at the top of the show, I'd just like to talk about a few things going on in the books these days. Recently read this year, Death of a Salesman, in which Willy Loman's attempt to achieve the American dream is a prime example of futility. In his discourse about moving away and raising chickens, we see that Willy's decisions have little, if not no value at all, as he would never be able to move away or raise animals. His dream is futile, as his family has already grown up, and so is he. He is a man who believes and tries to act as if he is younger than he truly is. Kind of like Mr. Geitman. Also in Death of a Salesman, when Willy Loman says, "Nothing's planted, I have nothing in the ground," he is there referring to the lack of success that he has brought and has passed down to his sons. Another example is when he creates the story about how Biff was a well-off salesman. He makes up things, and through this and his blind hope, we see the futility in Willy's dreams. He is willing to fabricate his past to compensate for his present lack of worth. But it's obviously useless, as nothing he hopes for ever manifests itself. People who wish for things that will obviously never come true, like me and an A on this project. In Shakespearean news, Hamlet shows futility in his flawed rationale. When Hamlet forces his mother to look into the mirror, Shakespeare is showing us that Hamlet feels victimized, and he wants to condemn those who brought about this injustice. He wants to show the world its face, if you will, as evidence of its wrongdoing towards him. Clearly, this action is futile, as Gertrude never helps him, ever. Nor does anyone else, for that matter. And then he is forced to take matters into his own hands. In fact, in doing so, he leads the play not to an enlightened resolution, but to a stage covered in corpses. In Hamlet's attempt to show the world their injustices, he fails. Just like Madame in her attempt to show the world that she's sane. Probably the best example of Hamlet's futile rationale comes up in the third scene of the third act in Hamlet. It is when he approaches his praying uncle. Now, throughout the play, Hamlet has resolved to kill his uncle, but once he gets the perfect chance, he stops himself. Until the end of the play, Hamlet's decisions are futile, because he never goes through with them. He probably professes what he is definitely going to do, but, like Weiler in handing back AP essays on time, he never goes through with it until the end is near. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show moving. We have two great guests this evening, from the Heart of Darkness, Marlowe, and the Great Gatsby himself. And our musical guest today will be Don McReed. And, of course, playing for you now, our house band, Minnie Cyrano playing the saxophone.